like the beginning scene of like Criminal Minds or something, you know? Like when somebody's tied up and they're trying to get out, and then all of a sudden the screaming got really, really loud and really intense.
Don't do that. They just fucking did that. You come in here. Don't do that. Do something. That's what I'm saying. Do something. Do something. Don't do that. That's what I'm saying.
What's up with it, YouTube? It's your boy Vick Reacts. Bumming at you with a brand new video. Hey man, today we got a banger, man. Today we got a crazy video at the same time though, bruh. This is a video about a guy named Deundrea Holloway, man. He decapitated his 8th-month pregnant girlfriend, bro. Threw her head in the dumpster and was caught after trying to sell the car, my guy. Look, it's a crazy video. You won't believe it, but you've seen the intro. So if you like the intro that I played at the beginning, be sure to like the video right now, because if you like the intro, you're gonna like the video. Comment you got something to say about the video or me. Subscribe if you're new and mess with the content, man. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get to it, man. Mental health is a real problem, by the way. Keep that in mind.
Alton, Illinois. A man can be seen on CCTV just after midnight coming out of a house, carrying a white laundry basket down a quiet street. He walks behind a smoke shop and disappears from view. At the time, no one knew what was inside the basket. It wouldn't be until the next day when a construction worker finds something disturbing.
I take him to the dumpster. So when I took him to the dumpster, there's a lot of clothes and shit in there, all strode all over, laundry basket, and there was a couple pair of shoes. There was shoes, was some slipper shoes too. Slipper shoes. Okay. They was red. They had blood on them. They all look like female shit. For real though. Male shit too.
Female and male clothes?
Yeah.
Okay.
The next day, around 1 p.m., this mother, Heidi Noel, arrives at her daughter, Liese Dodd's apartment. Liese is 22 and currently 8 months pregnant. Heidi hasn't heard from her in over 15 hours since the night before. Something feels off. She lets herself in. 2 minutes later, other residents can be seen opening the door. Heidi steps back outside, visibly shaking. The neighbors' expressions say everything. And then Heidi makes a chilling 911 call.
911 with the address of... Yeah. Hi. Listen. What's going on? My girlfriend's daughter is killed. Yeah. What's going on there? My girlfriend, I'm sorry, my daughter's, he chopped her head off.
Police arrive shortly after and discover the lifeless body of Liese. In this video, we'll walk you through exactly what happened to Liese Dodd the night she was murdered. With never-before-seen footage here on the decoder, we advise viewer discretion as some of its contents may be disturbing. Now, let's dive into the chilling murder of Liese Dodd. Liese was living in Alton, Madison County, in Illinois, a suburb of St. Louis, in which she was born. Though it has a far higher crime rate than that of Illinois as a whole, it's where she felt at home, and the residents of this quiet street feel the same. In this surveillance footage, they can be seen taking the trash out, going to work, and carrying out other errands. But all that is about to change. Further up the road, there's construction work going on. Trash from the construction site, like bits of drywall, are going in a large red dumpster parked on the street outside. And on the morning of June 9th, one man carrying old drywall out discovers something in the dumpster that shouldn't be there.
This is what the knife looked like. Down like that.
Okay.
That short, with teeth on that mother.
So like a paring knife?
Like with teeth on it, like you cut meat.
Like serrated?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that. That's what the knife looked like. Just
Was
like
the
this.
handle longer than the blade, or was the...
No, it was short, about like this.
About...
Yeah, like that. Yeah, that
Okay.
long.
And when you picked up the knife, did you pick it up by the blade? Did you pick it up by the handle?
By the blade. I mean by the handle.
By the handle.
Through that mother.
I got you.
There's oh shit, blood on it. That.
Was the blood on the handle? Was it on the blade? Was it covered in it?
Well,
Was
I
it
it was
driven?
on the blade.
It was on the blade?
Yeah.
The contractor knows something isn't right about this scene, and he wants to get as far away from it as possible. This is the first sign that this June 9th isn't going to be as ordinary a summer day as the local residents first thought.
Crazy, bro.
Last night.
What was the last time? What time did you last hear from her?
It was like 9:05 or so. I had sent her a text, and she said they were talking. And then I tried again at 10, and she didn't answer. And then I tried this morning 2 times, and she didn't answer. And so then I came over here because she usually answers.
Okay. So last time we talked to her was last night when she sent your text message, right?
Yes.
Okay. The officers are coming. They'll be there.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
Okay. Okay.
First responders are dispatched at 12:59 p.m., and they arrive to find Heidi still sitting on the steps, crying.
Where we going on?
Apartment 4.
Is anybody else here?
No, I didn't see it.
You have a key to get in? Right here. This one. Do you have the key?
Oh, I'm sorry.
She gives them the code to enter the apartment building, and though they know what they're going to find, it never gets any easier.
Evan, watch the rear.
Lisa's apartment is on the 2nd floor. The door is unlocked.
Oh, please, Marvin, if you're here, make yourself known!
They discover her body in her bedroom. At least they think it's her body. Her head appears to be wrapped in a towel like a turban, but underneath the turban, her head is gone. It's been cut off.
She wasn't kidding. Can we go sit on these front porch steps, though? Okay.
Well, I don't want to bother those people.
You know what? I'll tell them.
My car.
I'll tell them to go away. Okay.
It's okay.
Well, I just. Sir. Apartment 4 upstairs to the right.
Oh my God.
Here, let's
Oh God, Lisa, why didn't you listen?
take some big deep breaths for me, okay?
And then I touched her, and she was cold, and so then I wanted to make sure that you just strangled her. And then there wasn't a head. Please find her head.
No one else is in the apartment. There's no sign of a murder weapon, and there's no sign of Lisa's head either. Her killer must have disposed of it elsewhere. Not only has Lisa been murdered, but her body has been desecrated. And this peaceful neighborhood has been torn apart.
They let us know that somebody was found dead next door. To have to lose a child that way, and that baby is an extension of her mother and the rest of her family, so they lost a child as well. They lost 2.
So how did we get here? What happened to lead this young woman who had her whole life ahead of her and was soon to be a mother to such a horrible end? To understand how this crime unfolded, we'll need to go back 24 hours. We find Lisa just living her life, looking forward to her future ahead. Here she is on her porch at just before 2 p.m. on June 8th, scrolling on her phone and looking out at the lawn. In 10 hours, she'll be dead.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. One thing about life though, fool, like, it could go from that to you dead 10 hours. Like, imagine 2 hours before she ended up dead, bro. She didn't have no clue that she would even end up dead, man. This is just crazy to me.
Just a beautiful soul. And I just wish she would have known how loved she was. You know, that she wouldn't have ever been alone. That she could have gotten out of this relationship and had a full life.
Lisa was in an on-again, off-again relationship with a man named Deundrea Holloway, another Illinois native. Deundrea is the same age as Lisa. It's unclear how they met, but they've been seeing each other for a while, nearly 2 years. Deundrea also has some issues. He uses substances, and he's had a difficult home life according to his half-sister, PJ.
How long has he not lived there?
He moved out when he was about 18.
And how old is he now?
21.
Okay. Where did he go when he moved out?
I'm not sure.
Okay. What do you know about Deundrea's life currently, like about like his relationship status and things like that, and where he lives and things like that?
He lives pretty much with everybody. Like, well, he lives with his girlfriend, but like whenever they get into it, like he hops in different people's homes.
He's also taken Liese with him on this shiftless lifestyle in the past. At one point, according to her old boss at Dairy Queen, the couple were homeless, living in a tent by Lake Litchfield.
I think she was making up a story.
Okay.
And then she finally did tell me that she had some problems with her boyfriend, was hitting her, and they were actually homeless and were living out at the campground at the lake.
At the start of 2022, they'd moved into the apartment building in Alton. But things weren't going well between the couple.
She had a lot of personal problems with a boyfriend, a lot of calling off. She had a lot of black eyes when she would come in. When she first started, she would make excuses that her dog had jumped up and hit her and caused her black eyes. She was constantly running late, like for personal reasons. Always something coming up. She had a lot of black eyes, a lot of bruising on her arms, like where you could see, like maybe grabbing.
Okay.
That kind of thing.
Liese's boss once even witnessed one of these altercations.
What specifically did you see when the day you actually witnessed her being battered? What did you see?
A punch in the face.
You saw Mr. Holloway punch her?
Face,
okay.
Yeah.
So were they in the car when that happened, or were they outside the car?
No, they were in the car, and we have cameras on the back of the building. We actually tried to roll the cameras back, but they're not very good definition, so we weren't able to actually see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was he in the driver's seat?
Yes, he was.
Okay. And did she return to work after that happened?
She did.
And did you see any? Did she have any visible injuries on that occasion?
Her face was red.
Okay. And did she say anything, or was she confronted about that?
I asked her about it, and she said they had gotten in an argument. Eventually, after the, excuses about, the dog and things like that stopped, she was honest about it and just said that they were always arguing and fighting, and, then they would make up and it would happen again.
Okay. Did she, like specifically that day, when she was struck, was there any conversation, like after the fact when she comes back into work about, the police or?
I wanted to call the police, and she did not want to do that.
Okay.
On one occasion, in July 2021, Liese landed in the hospital after Deundrea apparently broke her nose and gave her 2 black eyes. They'd also been seen arguing on the street in the past. And following one such argument, a witness saw Deundrea punching himself in the face, as if to punish himself. It got bad to the extent that in September 2021, she texted her boss.
My boyfriend beat me again, and I had to go to my mom's. They're wanting me to stay in a safe place because he's threatened before to harm us. Is there any way I could get my shift for tomorrow covered until things settle down a little? I can work the rest of the week. We're just trying to make place to stay safe.
This didn't last, however. Liese and Deundrea were back together soon enough. In May, Deundrea introduced Liese to his half-sister, PJ.
This is one thing I just don't understand. Like, why do they go back? Like, after, I don't understand. That's one thing I don't understand, and I'll never understand. Like, I just don't understand some things. That's one thing I'll never understand.
According to her, Deundrea was the father of Liese's baby. He'd been texting a friend about his poor mental state. On June 5th, just after midnight, he wrote, "I feel like it's all the emotions I've ever put to the side just coming out now at once for real. My cup filled up and now it's got to spill over. I don't know how to healthily let out emotions without snapping or crying because I'm too pissed to talk." He also wrote, "I've always had to be the man even when I was a kid, and was always put in grown man situations with so much pressure on me, and even to this day still." He sounds like a man close to his breaking point. And on Tuesday, June 7th, Deundrea went missing. PJ added Liese on social media as the family tried to search for him. Liese, pregnant nearly to full term and with a lot on her plate, was understandably stressed out. She texted her mom about it at around 9 p.m. on June 7th. She wrote,
You think he'd just leave like this?
Fretting that he'd taken some clothes with him and that he deliberately left, never to return.
I think I got left.
Heidi tried to comfort her, looking for a silver lining in the situation. She'd been concerned about her daughter's relationship for some time now, and this seemed like maybe a blessing in disguise. If this is how it's meant to happen, at least it was nonviolent, she wrote. And work clothes for her shift later, as if it was a normal day, but she felt like something was seriously wrong. She wrote,
I still feel like he'll show up, but I can't tell.
This is when she started reaching out to Deundrea's family, including his half-sister, PJ. Heidi suggested you could call APD and ask if he was arrested, or ask Joe if there was anything weird on the cameras. Joe was Lisa's landlord. She did as her mom suggested and texted him.
My boyfriend didn't come home last night, and he left his phone. I was wondering if you could watch the cameras and tell me if you see him leave and what he was wearing. His family and I are really worried.
What's crazy is that him leaving was his way of trying to get out that situation without doing any harm to nobody. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know, I'm not saying what he did was right or anything, but everybody goes through problems, you know, men and women both. And he just didn't have nobody in his corner to talk to. That's really what all it come to. He just really didn't have nobody to talk to. So that was his way of disappearing from the situation without making a grave mistake. I want to see what happened for him to come back.
The CCTV showed that Deundrea had gone out with his Uncle Marty, his dad's brother, on Tuesday evening.
The girlfriend called the landlord to their apartment because they have cameras around the apartment and stuff, and she asked the landlord if he can go back and look at the cameras and stuff to see if he saw Deundrea, which he did. It was like around 6:24 when he left the apartment, and he went with his uncle that lives in St. Louis.
Is everybody relieved at that point, or like?
Not really, because the girlfriend said that his uncle was supposed to bring him back that night, and he's supposed to call like before 10, and then it was after 10.
But he didn't come back that night. PJ went to bed early on the evening of June 8th without hearing anything else. Lisa, meanwhile, received a message out of the blue at about 8 p.m. from Deundrea's uncle, saying he was bringing Deundrea back and that everything was fine. With his uncle, that's who called anyway. Her mom replied, "Where does his uncle live?" And that's still across the bridge, Lisa said, and yeah, I agree. Heidi wasn't happy about the way her heavily pregnant daughter was being treated. She didn't trust Deundrea at all. She told Lisa, "And of course it's your fault. That. And you better be careful so he doesn't give you something that Bean will catch." Ignoring this advice, Lisa went to pick Deundrea up. They could be seen here on CCTV arriving back at their apartment at 9:11 p.m. While in the car, Lisa texted her mom, "I'm trying to figure it out." This was the last text she'd ever send. And this CCTV image is the last time she'd ever be pictured. At 10:49 p.m., Heidi texted, "You okay? and received no reply. By then, Liese was already dead. Over the next few hours of CCTV, various neighbors come and go. Neither Liese nor Deundrea are seen again. Until 11:57 p.m., when Deundrea comes out. He's carrying a white laundry basket. He comes to stand next to Liese's car without getting inside, suggesting he's forgotten the keys. He's changed his clothes, and he's now wearing dark shoes and a face covering. He goes back inside and comes out again a few minutes later, again carrying the laundry basket. He walks out of frame and towards a nearby smoke shop, around the back of which is a dumpster. CCTV from a local business displays the rest. At 1 minute past midnight, we can see the white laundry basket being thrown into the dumpster, alongside some clothes. This laundry basket, as the police will later discover, contains Liese's head. 2 hours later, her car is missing from the parking lot. Deundrea has gone to his mother's house.
And then my sister said around 2:30 in the morning that he's like banging on the door and stuff, and he's like pacing and like acting nervous.
Where?
At my house.
This morning?
Yeah, this morning at 2:30.
PJ finds him in the bathroom at around 10 a.m. the next morning, June 9th, 3 hours before Liese's mom will discover her daughter's body.
I seen my grandma standing in the doorway to the bathroom, and I looked and I'm like, oh, there's Dee. And then he was cutting his hair off and stuff, and I asked him why he was cutting his hair off, and he just said a fresh start.
Okay. And what's his demeanor like?
He was like nervous, like you can tell he was like really nervous.
Just your personal opinion, why do you think he's cutting his hair off?
Got in trouble.
Deundrea hasn't cut his hair in 2 years, and he's proud of his dreadlocks. Why would he be cutting his hair off today of all days? His grandmother notices he's got other items of Liese's property.
He had I don't even know what his girlfriend's name is. Okay. But anyhow, he had gave me her ID in the debit card. Okay. And I said, well, why you got her debit card? Yeah. And license, you know. And I said, now she out there driving, and then she thinks she got her license, and you got it. Then this morning, he gave me 2 keys. Okay. And I said, well, where you get these keys from? And he said he found them on the ground.
Their downstairs neighbors have been witnesses to a lot of the violence in their relationship.
Well, the past few days they've been arguing, and that's nothing new. Okay. They fight, like they used to fight all the time, and it would be loud fighting, and we actually had to call the cops on them before, because I don't know who it was, but somebody picked something up and slammed it against the wall. We assumed it was one of them throwing each other.
And on the night of June 8th, they heard it all.
Last night it was different. It was like, we got home from picking me up from work. I got home from work around 9:30-ish, and their front door was cracked, which is unusual. They don't.
9:30 p.m. last night? Okay.
They don't usually leave their front door cracked, and it was, and that was a little weird. And I heard like muffled yelling, like not screaming, but yelling in a way, kind of like in pain, like you just like snipped your finger with a scissor and you had to put some over your mouth so you wouldn't scream too loud. That's what it sounded like.
So you say it sounded like muffled screaming?
Kind of, but it wasn't too loud.
Okay.
And then later on, we heard like the apartment shakes a little bit whenever you move too much, and it started shaking. And we're like, okay, they must be fighting or something. And we were gonna wait to see if it got better.
Nah, like imagine your upstairs neighbor. This is what you hear all the time, bro. Ain't no way I could be in that position acting normal, fool. Like, that shit is like crazy. That shit is crazy, fool. I don't know, bro. It's just crazy to me personally. I ain't never been around this kind of stuff or even seen this kind of stuff in real life. So I can't really speak from like my personal experience or nothing. But to me personally, there's no way I could just sit and listen to this happening, bro. I'm sorry, I can't.
And or like if it didn't, because we were just gonna go sit outside and wait it out.
Yeah.
So we didn't have to deal with it. And so whenever that was happening, the apartment was shaking, they were fighting about something, and then all of a sudden the screaming got really, really loud and really intense. And that was, I would say, probably about 9:45, 9:50. And then the apartment had like 5 or 6 loud like thuds, and they got louder and louder each time.
Okay.
And they shook the apartment as well. And that sounded more like it was coming from...
So, like, what did it sound like experienced in life, to your best ability, that would have created or possibly created the sound that you heard?
Probably, I really don't know other than like chopping wood.
Okay.
Because that's what it felt like he had enough, I didn't mean to say he, but like, you know, that's what it sounded like there was enough time to do, was like, it was very constant beats.
And you kind of got a rhythm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it had like 4 or 5, 6 of those beats, and then it just stopped. The screaming stopped, the sound stopped, the shaking stopped, everything stopped.
That chopping sound, something the neighbors couldn't bring themselves to consider, was the sound of Lisa's head being cut off. With all of this evidence mounting up, at around 9:30 p.m. on June 9th, the police execute a search warrant on Deundrea's mother's house. In the trash can outside it, in line with PJ's statement, they find the discarded clothing he was wearing in the CCTV footage, as well as his cut-off dreadlocks wrapped in toilet paper. There's no sign of Deundrea himself. But at 1:45 a.m., the early hours of June 10th, the investigators receive a phone call from the Gillespie, Illinois Police Department. That afternoon, they took a John Doe into custody, whom they later recognized as none other than Deundrea Holloway. The Alton Police Department had been gearing up for a manhunt, but there's no need. Deundrea was arrested in possession of cannabis that afternoon in Gillespie.
You search him?
Yeah. Don't have a name.
That's okay. I've got her name. What'd I have?
What's that?
What'd I have?
You have cannabis on you.
Oh, sweet. Okay, exactly. Right.
Deundrea is restless with the officers.
Need some water or anything? Yeah, I would like some water, because, you know, you guys gotta, hey, you need some water? Yeah. Okay, please, get you some water. Is it okay if I walk around? Is it okay if I stand up and take a step, like a couple steps?
What you gonna do? Why you gotta do that? Pull your pants up or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Like I said,
You're fine.
he's doing his job. This man has done nothing but his job, I swear to you.
You need to sit back down, Sheriff, please.
Didn't you just say I could pay?
No, I didn't say you could pay. I thought you said get to be pants.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Well, don't you just being mean to me though?
I'm not being mean to you.
I
said you're pacing back and forth, and you said, well, set me down. And I said I could if I wanted to, but I don't want to.
He's behaving manically, pacing, and repeatedly questioning the officers. At one point, he starts to laugh and bang his head against the wall.
Don't do that. They just fucking did that to me. Come in here. Don't do that. Do something. That's what I'm saying. Do something. Do something. Don't do that. That's what I'm saying. Don't do that.
The cops take drastic measures to restrain him from hurting himself. They keep him on the floor as he assures them he's going to get out.
Just all my folks will come get me out.
Well, we don't know your name, so...
Exactly, but my folks will be there to get me out.
Who's your folks? I don't know who you're gonna...
Don't worry about it.
He still refuses to tell them who he is. But it doesn't matter. The investigators from Alton come to arrest him on suspicion of Lisa's murder. They carry out a warrant for DNA, fingerprints, and other samples. And at around midday the next day, June 10th, nearly 24 hours since the discovery of Lisa's body, the investigators sit down with Deundrea for an interview. But Deundrea's not talking. He refuses to give them any information, even his name, which they already know. He just keeps saying he wants to go to work, though it's not clear if he's actually employed. He also says he's dissociated, and that he's once been prescribed medication by a doctor. After this, he asks for his lawyer, and the investigators comply, terminating the interview. On June 13th, Deundrea is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, 2 counts of intentional homicide of an unborn child, a human body, offenses relating to motor vehicles, and concealment of homicidal death. Bond is set at $2 million. Deundrea's family, however, entreat the public to take the nuances of his circumstances into account. His stepfather, Chris Hawk, takes to YouTube to talk about it on June 16th, but he attributes Deundrea's actions to his mental state, something his family has been trying to do something about for years, but he says the system wouldn't let them.
Our system fails people with mental problems. I've grown up in an environment with mental problems, and people are kind of left on their own. It's a tragic situation. This is the D that we knew. They're old pictures, but they show that there's a human there. The human does exist. He's not a monster. What he did was monstrous. He's not a monster. I'm not advocating that Deundrea should ever be allowed to enter civilized society again. I mean, he's obviously crossed the line there. I'm not advocating anything like that. I'm just saying there's a human being here, and it's tragic. It's tragic what mental illness has done to him.
These are the early days of the case, when Deundrea's only just been charged, and he's not doing well in jail. He's been refusing to come out of his cell and making threats to corrections officers. These included saying, "I will cut off your head." He refuses to attend his virtual court appointment on June 14th, and officers forcibly restrain him to bring him to court. These issues remain in his case. He's found mentally unfit to stand trial and undergoes treatment at a state institution until he regains competency to face the charges. At the same time, the Illinois Supreme Court rules that an unborn child cannot be considered a second murder victim for the purpose of seeking a life sentence. This impacts the sentence that can be sought in Deundrea's case. But in January 2024, he enters a guilty plea. On January 17, 2025, he is sentenced to 60 years in prison. This includes 30 years on the murder charge, 20 on the homicide charge, and 10 on the concealment charge to be served consecutively. He'll have to serve at least 52 years before he's eligible to be released.
Consecutively mean like he got to charge it back. He got to serve it back to back to back. Concurrent mean he serves it all together. So basically they stack it on top of the offenses. It's a crazy situation. I'm not gonna lie, but like the pop said, like the stuff pop said, like at the end of the day, this is the system failing. Now, they should have just put him in a mental home. You feel me? He obviously had a lot of mental problems. When he left, that was his way to try to avoid what just happened. He tried to avoid it, and the girl herself literally went and got him and basically signed herself up for it. So at the end of the day, I'm not saying this is a good situation. I'm not saying it's a fucked up situation. It's life. We all humans. We have a brain, and shit, if your brain was to fuck up one day and you was to make a mistake like this, life, man. If y'all still watching right now, I appreciate you for watching. Crazy story, man. I don't even know what to say, bro. I really don't. Crazy. RIP.